The thirsty reason your tap water is hollowing out the ground beneath you, and in Jaipur, 2017, it opened a hole under a 100-year-old temple in 11 seconds. You turned on a faucet this morning. You didn't think about where that water came from. Underneath every city on Earth, there's a version of the ground that isn't solid, it's memory. Old riverbeds, old wells, old stone chambers built centuries ago to hold water nobody thought would ever run out. You've been standing on borrowed ground your whole life and you didn't know it. In Jaipur, that borrowed ground finally called in the debt. The street didn't crack first, it breathed. Locals say the pavement rippled like something underneath had exhaled. Then it dropped. Here's what nobody in that neighborhood knew until the day it happened. Beneath the temple sat a bayori, a stepwell carved by hand more than 100 years earlier, built in tiers deep enough to swallow a 6-story building. For generations it had been sealed, forgotten, paved over, built on top of. People worshipped above it every single day, prayed above it, parked their scooters above it. Nobody below the surface line drew breath, but something down there was still alive in the only way rock and water can be alive. It was shifting, draining, thinning, waiting. And on that morning in 2017, the weight above finally exceeded the strength below. The temple's foundation gave first, then the courtyard, then the road. In under 15 seconds, a hole roughly 40 feet deep opened directly beneath a place people had just been standing minutes before. You'd expect a hole that size to come from something dramatic, an earthquake, a bomb, a landslide. It didn't. It came from thirst. Jaipur sits in a region where groundwater has been pumped up faster than rain can put it back for over 2 decades. Every borewell drilled for a home, a hotel, a shop, pulls water from the same shrinking underground reservoir. As the water leaves, it doesn't just vanish quietly, it takes structural support with it. Empty pockets form where saturated soil used to hold firm. Old stepwells, built specifically to store that water, become the first places to empty out and collapse because they were designed as containers, not ceilings. The city built new life directly on top of ancient holes engineered to catch what the ground could no longer hold. And this is where it gets unsettling because Jaipur is not unique. It's not even rare. Engineers have mapped over 3,000 abandoned stepwells and reservoirs across northern India, most of them undocumented on any modern survey, buried under decades of construction. Nobody has a complete map of where they are. Nobody can tell you with certainty which street, which home, which schoolyard sits on a void instead of solid rock. The same hidden collapse hit Jaipur. It hit sections of Delhi during monsoon season, when saturated soil finally lets go all at once. Each time the pattern repeats, quiet ground, no warning tremor, then a hole appears in the exact spot no one expected, because the danger was never on the surface. It was underneath, in a chamber built before anyone alive today was born. Now think back to that faucet. Every time water gets pulled from underground faster than the earth can replace it, that thirst you don't feel becomes someone else's floor giving way. The temple in Jaipur wasn't sitting on unstable land by accident. Modern demand for water above ground was directly draining the ancient water storage below it, year after year, invisibly, until the math simply failed. The stepwell didn't fail because it was old. It failed because it finally ran dry enough to stop holding the ceiling up. That's the callback worth sitting with. The same resource you use without thinking is the resource whose absence opened that hole. Geologists who study sinkholes call this anthropogenic collapse, human-caused ground failure, and it's accelerating in exactly the places growing fastest. More people means more wells. More wells means more emptying. More emptying means more forgotten chambers losing their last support. Cities are expanding directly on top of centuries-old infrastructure nobody surveyed before pouring concrete. The temple in Jaipur is one confirmed case. The unconfirmed cases are the ones that haven't opened yet. So somewhere beneath a street you've walked, or a building you've stood in, there may already be a chamber like Jaipur's, dry, weakened, waiting on one more borewell, one more dry season, one more building's weight to tip the balance. The ground gave no warning in Jaipur. It simply ran out of what was holding it together. If it's already happening quietly under your city right now, how would anyone actually know before the day it opens?